It was 75 years ago this month that the Second World War came to an end in Europe. The surrender document signed by Germany was drafted not by senior diplomats or ministers, but by an officer in the British Army who was, by training, an actor and theatre manager. Few people, including his own daughters, realised the role that he played on VE Day, as my colleague Reeta Chakrabarti explains now.
Meet John Counsell, the British Army colonel who played a pivotal role in ending World War II. An actor and theatre manager, in 1940 he was called up into the theatre of war. But army life, his twin daughters told me, wasn't for him. What sort of soldier was he?
Inept, I think the word would be. His battery commander said that he was the worst soldier he'd ever come across.
Jenny and Elizabeth were small children at the time. Their father, despite being a poor soldier, was a good writer and was propelled into ghostwriting official reports for the Allied commander, General Eisenhower.
Nazism was crushed in the rubble of German cities.
By the spring of 1945, with Germany overpowered and Hitler dead, the country's surrender was inevitable. The momentous task of drafting the surrender document fell to John Counsell.
He was ordered to go away and write a document in an hour and a half for the Germans to sign, top secret, only he and the stenographers, as he called them, the typists, should know about it. So off he went and, rather stunned, sat down at his desk.
Extraordinary. What a huge responsibility.
Yes, at first he really didn't know what to put, apart from act of military surrender. And then he remembered that in the office somewhere was an old peace document that would sort of show him the style of how these things were done. And so he sat down and began to write, "We the undersigned." Oh, Jenny, you say this because you're better at doing this than I am. Go on.
I remember it by heart.
I know. Go on.
We, the undersigned, acting by authority of the German High Command, do hereby surrender unconditionally.
The German delegation, headed by General Jodl, Germany's Chief of Staff, have arrived for the fateful ceremony. The General puts his signature to the document, which acknowledges the complete defeat of the German armed forces by those of Britain, Russia and the United States.
Did he have a sense of how important his role was?
Yes, he did. He knew he was making history, and it astounded him because basically he was an actor. He said it was really rather like a first night. There was a mixture of terror and excitement as he knew what he had to do, and it was terribly important.
It's lovely to think, when I see the footage of the crowds in Piccadilly Circus and dancing in the streets and cheers and the famous shot of Churchill with his V sign, I thought, oh my gosh, my daddy did that.
What an extraordinary thing for him to have done, to actually save lives with a sheet of paper.
A revealing new insight there into the events of VE Day as told by Reeta Chakrabarti.